Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. These might be our favorite kinds of videos to make because in today's video we're not announcing one new trip, we're announcing 2 new trips.
We are going to tell you all about one of the trips, but the other one we're actually going to keep a secret.
Both of these trips are happening over the course of the next couple of months. And while we're not going to share a ton of details about our secret trip, we will give you a couple of little hints. Sherri, have we ever been there before?
No.
Well,
sort of.
Sort of. So we're not going to go into more details than that. Sherri, is it a Disney trip?
Sort of.
Huh. So that's where we're going to end the hints on the super secret trip. And actually, you guys, this is a trip you're not going to find out about until after we're back home.
Until we post the vlogs.
We've decided this is a trip we're keeping for ourselves, and then we'll release the vlogs afterwards. So we're so excited about that one. But now let's talk about the trip that we are going to share all of the details with you. However, you guys, it's not a trip for us.
No.
It's a trip only for me.
So for the last 3 years, Adam has been the executive director of a nonprofit here in town. And when he took that position, he actually took a 50% pay cut. So in honor of the hard work that he has put in and really full-time hours for half-time pay, his board decided that they were going to give him the entire month of August off.
Yeah, you guys, they gave me a month-long sabbatical, and I've never had anything like this in any job. And so I looked at my calendar, talked with some of my team, and August is the month that worked the best for me to take off. So I have the whole month of August off. So then the question is like, what the heck do I do with a month off of work?
Right.
He
was trying to he was coming up with all of these ideas, and I was like, no, you can't do that without me. No, you can't do that without me.
And so that was one of the things. So Sherri cannot take
I don't
a
get
month
the
off,
entire
right?
month off.
And you can't even really be gone for much. So we might do a couple long weekends, like maybe a couple in-state trips. We have some ideas.
Unfortunately for me, August is kind of like a super busy month at work.
So the purpose of this month really is for rest, renewal, relaxation. And so one of the problems that I've run into, you guys, is that I don't necessarily know how to rest well over an extended period. We do really good with weekly rhythms of rest. We always try to make sure that Saturday's our day together. We don't work on Saturday. Saturday is just for us. It's kind of our Sabbath day. However, when I think of a month long where I just have all of this time, honestly, I started to think about it and I was like, I don't know what to do.
He doesn't know how to rest.
I don't have any hobbies. I started working when I was 14 years old, and everything that I'm good at, I turn into work, right? I'm a compassionate guy, so I lead a nonprofit. I'm a creative guy, and so I have marketing clients on the side. I like doing video stuff, so we start a YouTube channel, right? Everything that I enjoy, I turn into work. And so as I'm looking at a month off, I'm like, man, I've realized that I don't hobby very well, right? And so for me, I started to say, okay, so what are some things I enjoy doing? One of the things that I've always really enjoyed is driving. Sounds weird, but I remember before we were married even, there'd be days when we would the closest Dairy Queen did not used to be in Anchorage. It used to be in a town 2 hours south of us.
Right.
And on a nice Saturday, we'd be like, you know what? Let's go to Dairy Queen.
Let's go get blizzards. And we would drive 2 hours for a blizzard and drive 2 hours back.
And I enjoyed that. And driving to me has always been really restful. Just time on the road with myself, being able to just listen to music or podcasts and just kind of think has always been renewing to me. So I thought, well, I know that I like doing that, so let's do that. So basically from August 8th until August 20th, 12 days, I'm flying to Seattle, I'm renting a car, and I am just going to drive. Now, I'll go into more details about where I'm going to drive and what I'm going to do in a little bit, but there were some things that I thought of during that month that I was like, okay, Sherri, what if I did this? And you were like, no, I want to do that with you, right?
There's so many good ideas, and I was like, but I want to go with you, and I can't take that time off.
In fact, I started looking
don't do that.
I started looking at cruise. I was like, well, I love cruising, right? Maybe I'll go on a cruise. And I found these deals from one-way cruises from Alaska to Vancouver for $400. I was like, that's amazing. I'll go do that.
It's not Disney.
It wasn't with Disney. It was with, I think, Princess, but still an amazing price. I was like, Sherri, what if I went on a cruise? You were like, maybe not.
but I want to go.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay. So then we were like, okay, so there's some things that it's like, you know what? We just want to do together, right? It's like, they're kind of our things. And so we said, okay, let's just remove those from my list, and then let's figure out something that like would be... No, don't be sorry. Something that like just I could do. And so the road trip is the plan. So let's talk about what the heck I'm going to do. So I'm flying into Seattle on August 8th. Fortunately for me, August 8th is also the very first Seahawks preseason football game. So I'm going to hang around in Seattle that day, go to a Seahawks preseason game that evening, which I love. I try to make it down for
Sounds great for you.
Exactly. And you have no interest in doing that. So win-win. Then I'm actually going to drive to Boise, Idaho. I have a ton of family, ton of friends in the Boise area. So I'm going to spend a few days there.
I am bummed that I'm not going to that.
That's true. And this is actually my second trip in a row to see family that down there that you have not been able to make it. The last time my grandpa passed away, I went down and you couldn't go either. I am excited to see family. I love my family down there. So I can't wait to see them. And then I'm going to drive over through Idaho, see more friends, drive down to the Salt Lake City area, see more friends. And it's at this point that my trip is a little bit open. So I have like, I don't know, maybe 3 days where I need to get from Salt Lake City basically back over to Portland to see more friends. And I'm considering driving across like the top of Nevada over into like Northern California, like Redwoods area, and then up like the California Oregon coast. That sounds beautiful to me. My only concern is that it feels like it might be a lot of road time, which again, I love driving, but I might want some time just to kind of rest a little bit in there. Right. So I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna do at the end of the trip, but I eventually will make it to Portland, Oregon and get to stay with some friends. Can't wait to see them. And then back to Seattle, and then I get to fly back home and see your beautiful face. But for 12 days, we will be apart. Not the longest we've been apart. We've been apart longer than that. Yeah. But that is kind of a bummer. The worst part about that is not being able to be with you during this.
I agree.
However,
but Misty and I will stay here and hold down the fort.
Do you think that you would like a 12-day road trip, or is that a lot of car time for you?
I think that'd be a lot of car time for me.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a lot of car time for me. We'll see. I will say I am planning on vlogging all of it. We've actually talked about ways to check in with Sherri on the vlog back home. So hopefully...
So you don't have to go 12 days without seeing me?
Because... Well, I don't want to go 12 days without seeing her, and I know you guys don't want to go 12 days without seeing her. But that's kind of the plan, you guys. The rest of the month of August, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to actually go out on like some fishing charters. We would like to actually make it up to the Fairbanks North Pole area in August, see some friends up there. Yeah. So those are some things that we have planned for the rest of that month. But again, just a whole month off work to be able to focus on rest and renewal. That's one of the most amazing gifts, right? So I'm super excited for the month of August. And then...
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been weird to think of having that much time off, but it really has been even more strange to realize that, man, I don't hobby well.
No.
You know, and so...
And even like the driving thing, like you were like, ooh, I like driving. I could drive for Uber.
That's true. It's so true. Like,
or are you gonna just like drive around and not have to make money at everything that you enjoy doing?
So you guys, I am excited for this trip. One of the things I am hoping actually is I'm hoping that on this trip and during this month, I discover ways or activities that I just enjoy, and I can let them just be like enjoyable activities in my life.
I would like that for you.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. So that's one of my hopes for that month, is that I get to discover some of that about me. I do have some road trip things, and I haven't talked to you about this either. So one of the things that is also life-giving to me, and we talked about this we made a video where we talked about how we travel all the time. Right? And we said that we have chosen to live small in certain areas so we can live big in others. And the two big things for us are areas that we want have always been travel and adventure and generosity, right? Like we want to be able to like bless other people, and we want to be able to travel. And as I was thinking about this road trip, one of the things that I keep thinking about that I think would be amazing are like, what are ways that I can like be generous and spread generosity as I travel? You know what I mean? Like I remember when my mom, when I was growing up, going on trips, my mom would always take like $100, or it was like 10% of the cost of whatever the trip was, or something like that, and just keep it in cash on her to be able to like bless people she saw. You know, so the trip was $1,000, she had $100 in her pocket. And so if you guys have any ideas on ways to be generous, on ways for me to be generous as I like travel across the western part of the country, let me know in the comments below, because that's one of the things I want to do, because like I love that, right? Like I love being able to like meet people's needs unexpectedly. It's one of my favorite things. And the other thing that I need your guys' help with, if you watched my Colorado vlogs, Sherri knows where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I do.
You learned that I love
Sasquatch.
Well, yes, if you know where Sasquatch is, I will. My whole road trip, I'm just going squatching.
You would enjoy that. That would be a 12-day squatching road
Okay,
trip.
we've not talked about this.
Change of plans.
No, I legitimately, this is not a joke. I actually Googled Sasquatch tours in the Pacific Northwest to see if there were any in August, because I thought that, I was like, oh my gosh, can you imagine how much I'd love that?
You're my favorite person.
Thank you, I love you. But not what we were talking about. I got distracted by Sasquatch, as always. But what I need your help with is, I love these kitschy little roadside museums. I love any little attraction, any little historical site. So anywhere in the state of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Nevada, Northern Colorado, anywhere in there, if you guys know of any like must-see spots that you know I would love.
Weird.
Like,
he'll do the weird. He'll do like the largest ball of string.
100%. Love that. I will stop and get a photo of that every single time. So if you know of that kind of stuff, please let me know in the comments below. That's our plans, you guys.
I will be here working.
You'll be here working. I'm sorry about that. I am bummed about that. I am excited though, because I do believe, and we've talked a little bit about this, that one of the best things that we can do, like for our marriage, for each other, for just life in general, is like, I have to make sure that I'm like, I'm living in such a way that I have something to give away. Right? Like, I'm rested and I'm renewed so that I can like pour into others. You have to do the same.
Yep.
And so I'm actually
and honestly, I rest better when he's not here.
Well, that was one of the reasons we talked about like a road trip, is that the thought of me just mingling around the house for 30 days kind of was torture.
Right, because he goes stir crazy like Saturday night. Like, we've been home all day and he's just like,
so what do I go do?
What are we doing? Where are we going? Who are we talking to?
Yeah, and so like me home for a month, Sherri would have killed me, y'all. Probably for sure. So I think that this will be really good for me as I get out and just enjoy some alone time on the road.
Yeah.
As I get out and just discover what some hobbies are that I could love. But also, you get some time at home to read. You get some time at home for some Hallmark movies, some Disney ear making maybe.
Probably.
Crafts. That's fun. So I think this will be
Missy petting.
Oh, Missy's gonna love that. What if I brought Missy with me? I could buy her one of those little like.
You're really trying to just leave me here all alone?
Okay, you can keep Missy. Fine. You get Missy. I get the road trip. So, you guys, that's what's going on with us. Surprise trip that we think you are going to absolutely love after it's over, when you find out what it is.
Correct.
And then a month of me just not moping around the house, right? Figuring out what the heck I like to do.
Yep.
So you guys, as always, we love you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Again, answer some of those questions down below. What are ways that you think would be cool to see me show generosity while I'm out on the road traveling the country? And then, do you know any like awesome roadside attractions?
Or not awesome.
Awesome roadside attractions in that part of the country? Or do you know where Sasquatch is? If you know where Sasquatch is, I will cancel the whole rest of my trip. I will come, we'll hang out, and we'll go squatching for 12 days. That sounds amazing. I'm just searching for Sasquatch. That's what I'll title the vlogs. Searching for Sasquatch, episode 1. Sasquatch found. We'll see you guys on the next LeggLife video.